Strategy of making a lump sum payment. When you have a variable rate home loan, it's possible for you to make a large payment towards the loan at any time you want. These are known as lump sum payments. What does this do? This acts to immediately reduce the current debt along with the regular payment. So it ultimately means you're going to pay off the loan slightly sooner as you reduce the debt more than it would normally reduce by. So what are different realistic ways in life that you could run into a nice chunk of money? Selling your car, winning the lotto, inheritance, that sort of thing. Just make sure in your DI, there was 1 year where for the lump sum strategy, literally everyone, no word of a lie, literally everyone said that one of their grandparents died was the reason why they run into a bunch of money. It doesn't need to be that, okay? It doesn't need to be the lotto. Think of a realistic reason. Well, a realistic reason could be if you've got an income and you're not using all that income to pay off the loan, could you be saving a little bit of it at a time? And then after 5 years, you've got a nice chunk that you could use. That's more realistic. So mathematically, for making lump sum payments, you pay off the loan normally for a period of time, find FV at the end of that time period, you make a lump sum payment of the remaining debt. So what does that mean? You subtract the lump sum from the remaining debt, and then the remaining debt with the lump sum subtracted is the start of the second section of the loan where you keep PMT. So this means you solve for N to pay off the rest of the loan. Let's do an example. Consider the default loan of 2025. If the loan was paid off normally for 5 years and then I put 10 grand in, how much interest would I save by doing that? If I wanted to know what's going on with a loan after 5 years, what would my N be? How many payments would there be? 60. Interest 5, payments were 2684. So we need to work out how much do I owe the bank after 5 years of paying the loan off normally. 5, I started off owing 500,000, negative 2684.11. Payments happening monthly. So that tells me that I still owe the bank negative 459,143.53 to 2 decimal points. So how much interest did I pay in the first 5 years? I did 60 payments of 2684.11 minus 500 grand, take 459,143.53 is going to be a number. Let's work that out. 60 times 2684.11 minus 500 grand, take away the debt that I got it down to, 459,143.53. Okay, in the first 5 years, I paid off $120,190.13 of interest. After the lump sum, what is special about this? I got my debt down to $459,143.53, but I put a lump sum in of 10 grand. So what am I going to do to that 459,143.53? Yes?
You're going to subtract 10 grand.
Subtract $10,000 lump sum from that. So it's going to be 449,143.53. My debt is smaller than it's supposed to be after 5 years. Go to your TVM solver. Remember, you can do working out here. Negative 459,143.53. Take 10,000, done in TVM solver. 469. No, that's negative. Sorry, my bad. You just have to be careful though with TVM solver. TVM solver, the numbers are negative for it to understand. So if I took 10,000 from a negative number, it's going to get bigger. It's not the right way, okay? So what I need to do is this, 459,143.53 minus the 10,000 from that. And there's your 449,143.53. What do I want to owe the bank at the end of a loan?
0.
Nothing. So now we're going, okay, I chunked down my debt by 10 grand. I'm doing the normal payments. So how long is it going to take? It's going to be a little shorter than expected. So my time to pay off the loan after doing the lump sum is 287.34 to 2 decimal points. So what is the interest after the lump sum? 287.34 payments times by 2684.11 minus the debt that I got it down to, 449,143.53. Second quit, 287.34 times 2684.11 minus 449,143.53. 322,108.64 to 2 decimal points. How many TVM solvers has this loan involved? 1 or 2? There's been 2. There are 2 chunks to this loan. So I need to combine the interest of both pieces. In the first 5 years, I paid $120,190.13. And in the remainder, after the lump sum, I paid $322,108.64. So that totals 120, 190.13 plus 322,108.64. Total of $442,298.77, which you can see is cheaper than the default loan. How much cheaper? 466,279.6. Okay, that saved me, by doing the lump sum at that time, $23,980.83. If you do a lump sum before halfway, it's going to save you more than the lump sum itself. If you put the lump sum in after halfway, it's not going to save as much. What is the disadvantage of a lump sum? That 10 grand, that's been spent. You can't get it back, which is a little intro into offsets, which we'll do on Wednesday, which is another idea similar to lump sum, but it's temporary. Okay? So can you get that example down? Can you apply that strategy, your 3 variations? What would your 3 variations be? Show how the amount changes interest saved, and show how timing changes interest saved. Your 3 variations to cover those 3 different ways, those 2 different ways that the lump sum works, okay? So get onto that, please, for checking on Friday.